Welcome, guys, to BDL Talks. This is episode 2. We're here with the original broccoli head, Kelley Vincent, one of the top producers in the life insurance industry, as well as one of our top clients here at BDL. Kelley, thanks for hopping on, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. So obviously, you know how the podcast works. You've seen a few episodes of ours. We jump right into it. Give us a little bit about your background. I'm sure you've talked about it many times before, but for the audience watching, give us some background on you, how you got involved in the insurance industry in the first place, bro.
Yeah. Well, it all kind of started out in solar. So I've been in telesales for about 5 years.
Solar bro. Nice.
So I was one of those solar bros, but I wasn't a door knocker. I was actually in telesales and solar. So my first introduction, the first year in solar, I was an appointment setter. So we were hopping on like a live dialer, dialing 2+ old leads, not even qualified. People were like, I don't even own my roof. I'm in an apartment, right? And all those calls are being recorded. And so like I had to stick to the script. So that was really good for me to like first introduction into telesales. And then like any other horror story in solar, business went bankrupt, let all of us sales reps go. And so at that point, that's when I started getting into taking the test.
Got it.
That's a whole nother story.
And that's a whole nother story. Yes.
Right?
Yes. We failed that test 19 times.
That's crazy.
19 times.
Dude, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
I failed it 3 times and I was ready to stop. I was like, I'm good. I was like, maybe this isn't for me.
My first time. I mean, I guess
well, you're Asian, bro. Like you pass most things your first time.
Of course. Exactly.
I'm not surprised, bro. But yeah, I failed 3 times and I was like, maybe this isn't for me, man. So 19 times you took that test. How and what time span?
It took me 1.5 years from the first time I took the test till I passed. The hard part of it was just, dude, I was living with 3 other guys who were in solar in this small apartment in my hometown. Rent was only like $900 a month, right? And once the solar company let all of us go, they did it in the most dickish way possible. It was July 4th weekend. I get a call from my manager. He goes, good news, you're going to have a long 4th of July weekend. Bad news is next week's your last paycheck. And I was like, what the fuck? And me and my guys, we were young. So, you know, we were blowing our money every chance we got a chance to, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so we were living paycheck by paycheck. And I was like, dude, what am I going to do? I don't have enough money for rent. And in a course of 3 hours, the moment I got that phone call, I had 3 interviews lined up. 3 jobs ready to go the next day.
Beautiful.
And so that was kind of the start of the adversity, kind of getting into it. And by that time, I already failed the test 5 times.
Damn.
Whenever we lost that job. And it got to the point, man, where I had to take breaks because I couldn't spend that extra $50 out of my account to actually take the test. And so I was working 65 hours a week doing electrical work as an electrician from 6 a.m. to noon to about 6 p.m. I was selling supplements at a local nutrition store.
Yeah.
I was a sales rep for them. And then from 6 to like, I'm ready to work out like 10 or 11 or sometimes even midnight, I was still making phone calls for solar, just trying to get one in the pipeline, right? Try to get a sale in the pipeline so I can put money back for the business. But dude, it was tough. There was points where about the 12th, 13th time I failed the test, like even my dad was like, he was the one that helped me get the electrical work in. He owned a business in our hometown for a few years. And he was like, I'll send you to trade school. Insurance isn't for you. You failed it numerous times.
Yeah.
But I'm a pretty stubborn guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really developed, and you guys heard this before in sales, that delusional confidence.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanted to prove everybody wrong that, hey, I can succeed in this.
How
Just
old
give me
were
time.
you back then?
I was 19.
Damn, that's crazy.
I was 19. Failed the test until I was turning 21.
So it sounds like you had the unique experience of being humbled very early on.
Oh, dude.
In your career.
Every day.
Dude, that doesn't happen to many people until later in life. I think that's a really unique experience that you had where you got to go through some serious shit at such a young age. And now you're what, like 22, 23?
23.
You're sharper and you've gone through more adversity than a lot of people who are older than you.
Yeah.
29, like still going out every weekend, still spending money, still doing stuff that they don't need to be doing, still not locking in on their life, on their business, whatever it is. So yeah, bro, I mean, that's just going to propel you forward. Like you are at such an advantage, because at 19, I don't know what I was like.
Dude.
Man, I can't even talk about what I
I
was
just came
doing
to the
at
United
19.
States when I was 19. I was working in the nightclub industry,
Yeah,
getting drunk every night.
exactly. Just being stupid, bro. So, I mean, that brings me to my next point. I feel like with the insurance world, there's like this huge migration right now. It's like attracting so many young people. And while obviously on our page, we make fun of a lot of the younger guys, right?
Yeah, of
a lot of
course.
the broccoli heads.
Yeah.
We really only make fun of the unethical people. But I do think it's a beautiful thing that these young, hungry guys and girls want to make something of themselves early. So can you kind of talk about your experience working with, people who are just as old as you, but you guys have like this common goal, like you're all working towards something?
For me, I feel like it all kind of stems from what's being thrown at us in social media. Like, you see these guys, right? These uplines posting the Lamborghinis, recruiting people. You just see success everywhere, and sometimes fake success, of course. But either way, we have this shiny objects in front of us that keep us young guys pretty driven. Because like for me, when I got into sales, the whole purpose why I wanted to get in sales, I wanted to not have a cap on what my performance can bring home my income, right? Yeah. Sales was just that. Solar was rough, right?
Yeah.
But the moment I got into the insurance space, I was like, okay, I fail, it's on me. I succeed, it's on me. Mm-hmm. And at that point, it caused and kind of created an obsession almost, even when I was failing that test multiple times. I was on Discord listening to my older sister close deals, right?
Yeah.
And I was failing 15th time, right? And there was times where, for me and my other guys coming into the business, Caleb Mann was one of them that was with me in solar and made that transition into life insurance. But what I feel like a lot of us young men and women, we want that freedom. If you are actually willing to go through the adversity, you'll get it. But that's where I see a lot of young people fall off.
Yep.
The moment something's inconvenient or something gets too emotional to handle,
That's huge,
they
bro.
fold, right?
That's
Yeah,
huge.
you elaborate on that, because I feel like we deal with that a lot. With our target demographic, right? It's like they want instant gratification. They want things right away. It's like they can't kind of like be a little bit patient and just not react emotionally.
I have a lot of people ask me like, dude, why do you think you didn't fail? Why did you fail that test so many times? Mm-hmm. And I tell them I wasn't ready. And it's kind of to your point, Ethan, like that adversity created who I am today. Am I going to let the emotions outwork me, or am I going to let my work outwork the emotions?
Yeah.
And that's what actually started, I think, my success was through those failures. So I can actually handle my emotions, because obviously there's a lot of emotions I was feeling when I was feeling.
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine.
Like 100%.
It's an emotional roller coaster, bro. Sales is.
It is. And that's what honestly prepped me. And that's what I see a lot of agents that succeed now. They have adversity hitting them day one. Mm-hmm. And they overcame it. And now they're successful. The adversity is making these people successful. At the end of the day, it's just how you treat it.
100%. And it's selling insurance. I think sales in general is like natural selection.
Yeah.
It's natural selection. It's like who's cut out to take extreme mental torment and torture.
It's not for everybody.
Like, I watch Hagen take sales calls all day, like 8, 9, 10 calls a day. And unfortunately, we hear from some stupid people. Like they just have unrealistic expectations, and Hagen's like trying to he's taking time. He cares about like our ICP, our clients, but he's taking time to kind of try to reshape their mentality. And I think something that we realized is we can't fix people, especially someone over the age of 24, 25 or so. Like you can't change their mentality. They're just stuck in their ways. So that's why I think it is good that a lot of younger people want to get into sales early, because you're going to go through some serious shit.
You know what's interesting about that, now that you brought that up, is that because I'm analyzing now all the sales calls that I take, right? And I've noticed that it's actually the younger agents that are able to pull that trigger faster, make a quicker decision, and trust themselves and take that leap of faith than like the older agents that I talk to sometimes in their early 30s, maybe 40s. That are like, oh, I need to think about it. I'm not sure about this.
They haven't been burned as much.
Yeah.
Right? I
guess you're right.
Yeah, they haven't been burned as much.
Yeah.
I feel like, but it's also, I feel like younger people are so malleable.
They are.
Right? They're malleable, they're extremely coachable. So no wonder like insurance attracts a younger demographic. It's because you guys have, especially if you have a system in place.
Yeah.
Where you can train people, and you're not going to turn a random stranger off the street into another Kelley Vincent, but you can get them pretty close.
When you recruit people,
Yeah.
what do you look for, right? What is like your ideal agent target demographic that you would want on your team?
Well, first, I'm targeting people in the younger age, from anywhere from 18 to 25 right now. Because to your guys' point, we can mold them. They're not set in their ways where I can't change the way they function.
They have more drive too.
They have more drive. The second thing I look for is going to be how they deal with adversity. Whenever I'm going over the streams of incomes, pros, cons, hammering the negatives, set the proper expectations, I ask them, okay, what do you currently do? And I try to create a scenario where they are struggling at what they're doing now. And I ask them, how are you going to deal with that? And depending on what they say, I'm setting up another call. Depending on what they say. If they say, oh man, I just quit, get a new job. Red flag. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Well, yeah.
This isn't for you then. You know what I mean?
But I had a red flag
conversation with the guy. He was in pest control, and he goes, dude, every time I have a bad wave of sales, I follow the people that are winning, copy and paste what they're doing, find that momentum and apply it to himself and outwork the bad times. And I was like, huh.
That's right.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's
we
my
talked
guy right
about
there.
that too, right? Like when we were doing because we did our little sales training, right? That you did for our school, handling that emotional up and down, especially in sales, especially in business, right? Talk to people about that. How do you deal with that emotional roller coaster when you are in sales and in business?
Yeah. Something my father told me as soon as I passed my test. Great business owner. He started the electrical business from scratch. He was a Navy man, got out of the Navy when he was 21, got married, started a business in his hometown. And there's something that he said to me right when I passed the test, because he knew my financial situation. He knew I was struggling. He goes, when the bad times come in business, you want to ride that wave as fast as you can and get the hell out. But when the good times come, live in it. Double down. Because you never know when the good times are going to happen again, right? Using that mentality, for example, I had a bad 2 weeks of sales. One thing I didn't do, I didn't stop working.
Yeah.
Of anything, I doubled down. I reached out to my mentors, even though maybe I was saying the right things. But if I'm able to listen to someone else win, I can copy and paste that momentum. Right? So that would be the biggest thing, is putting yourself in a circle of winners. So whenever you're not winning, you still have the hope, the vision of people winning, and you just apply it.
It's energy.
It's energy.
Morale.
That frequency, right?
Yeah.
And then the second thing I do is just go back to the basics. And that's the hardest part in sales. I feel like, is going back to the basics. Because I went through in the summer this year, the longest streak I had of no sales, 6 days. 6 days.
Oh man,
dude, it was driving me crazy.
That's rough.
I was like doubting my process a little bit. And then I was looking at my scripts, looking at my positionings. Some of my agents were winning using the same scripts, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm overthinking myself. I probably sound desperate at this point. Let me just simplify this process for myself, so then it's simple when I pitch it. And then I end up doing like 8K. Issue paid the next day.
Made up for those past 6 days.
And that's a beautiful part about what we do in life insurance too, and other closer positions in sales.
That's very mature of you to even be self-aware enough to notice that.
Got to be self-aware.
Because what do most sales reps do when they experience that? they will start changing everything.
Freak out.
They start freaking out.
Start thinking
changing.
Emotionally.
Yeah, exactly. And they change like 5 different things, and then you never get out of that hole that you dug yourself into in the first place, because you're just constantly changing things, so you don't know what's actually the thing changing. And I actually did I have a couple of like one-on-one, private clients that I coach in sales in general, and she's just so emotional. And she's just like, her close rate went down by 4%. 4%. It went from 39 to like 36% in a span of 30 days. And she's freaking out. I'm like, it's the holidays. It was Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is coming up. It's like there's a lot of things going on, marketing changes. At the same time, we can't, as sales professionals, we can't just blame everything. We can't just make excuses. We still have to do everything that we can to better ourselves as a professional
100%.
and improve our skill set. But you also have to be mature enough to understand that there are factors that will influence whether you close a deal or not. And you can't let that emotionally affect you. Otherwise, that's what separates the successful closers from the unsuccessful ones, right? And one of my mentors told me this, probably one of the best pieces of advice I got in sales in general. Don't let the highs be too high. Don't let the lows be too low. Just got to be mellow and chill.
Because it is. I mean, with sales, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here. It is such an emotional roller coaster. And honestly, I feel like having those slow weeks is a good thing, because sometimes you got to eat that humble pie, man. Yeah, sometimes you got to realize, like, okay, I'm not the best. Like, I'm not as good as I think I am. But in that recognition, you also recognize that means I have room to grow, right? So I feel like a lot of it is pride and ego of like people, they're riding that high. They were like top agent for a month or two, and then they lose that. And instead of going back to basics and just humbling yourself and asking for help, they try to change everything. They get emotional, they freak out, and then you end up making it so much worse for yourself
in the long run.
So like what you're saying, Hagen, self-awareness is massive, right? Yeah. First thing comes to mind, Gary Vee preaches that nonstop. Self-awareness. And that's where I see a lot of new agents fail too. They're not self-aware enough to go back to the basics, or their pride's too big enough to even look into themselves and realize, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. With that self-awareness, the biggest thing for me in the business, because I'm a baby to business in general, right? I just started building my own book of business the past 2.5 years. And if my self-awareness isn't in check, my business isn't in check. Yeah. At the end of the day.
100%. Right? There's always something to learn.
Yes. All that good stuff.
There's always something to learn, And I mean, having that self-awareness not only helps you in business, I think that'll help every single aspect of your life. It'll help your personal relationships.
For sure.
Friendships, as well as business. Because if you can't recognize your own faults, like how are you ever going to fix them? If you're always looking to blame others or blame the leads or blame the industry or blame the season, instead of looking inward, you're just never going to be happy, right? You're never going to be able to accomplish anything unless you look inward. So I'm glad that you look for that in your agents, because I know that insurance is at the most part like a recruitment-based business model. And I feel like some people, they just take advantage of that and they just try to attract anybody with a pulse. Yeah. You have a pulse? You want to sell life insurance? Yeah. Like I'll try. And then you end up getting screwed over because that person puts in bad business because you taught them to do that. Yep. And then you start blaming the insurance industry. And it's like, I like that you are very selective. So if you were to, recruit someone, kind of walk us through that process of like, who's like your ICP, like who's like your ideal, like this guy's going to be a superstar, this girl's going to be a superstar.
Obviously I've learned pretty quick, right? Instant gratification when it comes to recruiting. You can't have it. You can't have it.
I bet.
But kind of like what I said earlier, how they're dealing with the bad waves of what they're in now, right? Right. What that response is. How are they fixing it? Are they going back to the basics? Do they have self-awareness? If they have that, great. I can mold everything else, but it's that mindset I'm looking for. There's 3 things, a MAP, acronym for MAP. Mindset, building mental fortitude, right? To deal with the rejections. You're a 100% commission job. You don't make a sale, you ain't making money. Yeah. Adaptability, got to be coachable. Persistency. You got to be able to show the fuck up when you don't want to. Mm-hmm. And those are the 3 kind of standards I look for and that I preach to my guys constantly. Mindset, adaptability, persistency.
I think the self-awareness is huge too, because like, and I'm curious, how do you even, because like one thing I did notice, and I told you this last time we were grabbing cigars, right, Kelley? One thing I did notice about you when I first met you was that you were very self-aware, right? And you're only 23. When I was your age, I was not that self-aware, and I don't even know how I was able to improve that. What do you guys feel like is like the thing that helps people become more self-aware?
I think people calling you out.
Yeah.
I think being surrounded by good people that will call you out on your BS.
That's true.
That's huge. And at first, when you're not used to that, you take it as this personal attack.
Yeah.
Like, why is this person coming after me? I don't want to be around this person. They're negative. That's negative energy. No, it's positive energy, because if someone can tell you that you're acting up, or you're like, what are you doing? Like, if you have a friend that's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Like, why would you say that? Why would you do that? Why are you not doing this? That's not nagging, whether it's someone you're in a relationship with or whether it's just a personal friend or a mentor. Not taking things personally.
That's huge.
Because someone sees something that you don't.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking at you from an outside perspective. So they see something that you don't recognize. Maybe it's something in the way that you talk to people or a behavior that you have. And if you take it personally, you're just never going to be able to grow. So I think being surrounded by good people that see that negativity in you and they call you out on it, maybe not in a nice way, but in a way that makes you start to self-reflect. So I feel like if you've never heard that before, it's hard to like.
We call each other out all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
all the time.
Brutal.
Me, the Nick.
I think we say the most disgusting things to each other's face, but like when we're in private, I'll always hype up my business partners, but to each other, no, we're always trying to improve.
No, in public, we'll hype up business partners. In private,
what did I say?
You said it was the reverse.
Oh no, yeah. And in public, we're speaking very nice about each
always,
other, like to other people, behind each other's backs. Yeah, we'll say the nicest stuff, but to each other's face,
we'll be
it's
like
just
straight up.
disgusting.
Yeah,
it's
Right.
nasty.
You have to be that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course. A few exercises that I have my new agents do, like specifically in the first 90 days of the business, I want them to have, for me, whenever I wanted to start building, an agency, I knew two things had to happen. I had to lead from the front, set the example, but I'm also going to have to be a very good sales trainer. Right. And so I like breaking down things to a science and give them exercises, repetitions, right? Just like one of my agents was with me when we were playing basketball together at college. And I used the same type of way. I got to be a coach, get them to exercise, but I got to lead from the front, mentor that way as well. For the self-reflection or the self-awareness, what I have them do after every call, if they get rejected, or maybe they messed up on an objection, right? I have them write it down. I have them actively self-reflect on the losses and even the wins when they're running appointments. So whenever I meet with them or they call me up, we go over that. And I put them in the right path to even exercise that and perfect it.
Yeah.
Once I started seeing that happen on their own, after the 90 days of them being in the business, I noticed, they're calling me and they're talking to me about their problems. They're also solving it for themselves because now they have a habit of that self-reflection. That would be a very good step for people.
Yeah.
To actually
like
actively,
specifically in the sales tactics and process, right? Do you guys ever record the calls or dials that they make or no?
If they are struggling, and I'm coaching them, they're saying the right things to me, and I'm like, okay, all right, buddy, you got an iPhone, you're gonna hit the record button, and you're gonna send them to me. We're gonna figure out what's going on. So like that's like my ace up the sleeve. If like everything else isn't working, I have my dialers and I also have my agents record their calls.
Smart.
For a good week, reflect on it. I listen, take out time out of my day, break down the recording to a science and highlight the things they need to work on.
Because that's one thing I noticed when I got into the insurance industry. Because before that, I was full-time high-ticket sales, right? And we would do all the calls on Zoom. It was auto-recording. So we would have like a whole vault full of recordings. And anytime, to hop on a new offer or a new sales rep would hop on our offer, the fastest way they learned was just literally watching hours and hours of sales call recordings. That's one thing that I noticed I didn't have access to when I joined the insurance industry, which I feel like if I did have access to that, I would have learned a lot faster.
Shout out Onyx.
Game footage.
Shout out Onyx. It's auto recorded.
There we go. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All my sales calls are recorded. So now on my sales, whenever I have a new agent going through contracting, onboarding, every type of sales call scenario that I've ran through, they can break it down to a science and listen to a
Genius.
recording.
Bro, I mean, that's so much value right there. If you're looking to join a team, join Kelley's team, you're going to learn way faster.
We got AI simulators too to simulate those scenarios. So
That's right. That's right.
I love it. Yeah. Dude, I want to switch gears. So we've talked about a lot of positive stuff in the industry. Obviously, it's great that there's this big migration of like young people, young hustlers, very hungry people who want to be successful moving into the industry. On the flip side of that, I feel like insurance has gotten a really bad reputation in the last few years, especially where we live in Tampa, right? The hustle and bustle cities.
Yeah.
In your experience, why do you feel like that is? Because us being outside of the industry, we view it a certain way, but you being in the middle of it, I want to know what your perspective is on that.
Two things come to mind. So I've been with Pinnacle Life Group, right? And I was with the previous IMO. And so I kind of got two sides of
the industries,
right? For me, it's going to stem from the reason why people are getting the bad reputation. It's not the product, first of all. I've had a lot of new agents coming in and like their families like, oh, insurance is a scam, all this stuff. And I'm like, listen.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the ethical and moral practices of how you pitch that product and how you handle your business.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. And obviously there's people that don't do it morally. There's people that don't do it ethically, right? And that's why people may see the bad side of insurance business. Not the product, but it's the person that may not be morally or ethically doing the process right, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, sometimes I feel like it really isn't the agent's fault. Sometimes. If they know what they're doing, you're in the wrong. But I feel like a lot of these agents get recruited and they're not in the industry very long. They don't really know too much about the products. They haven't really done a lot of due diligence to learn about the products.
Yeah.
And they're just doing what their upline is telling them to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
The upline is just who knows he or she
leaders.
is probably being unethical, but they're teaching a bunch of new agents to do what they do and sell how they sell and talk about the product the way they talk about the product. Oh, no, you don't need to put that on the application. Or, oh, no, like you don't want to tell them that. Like, as a new agent, I'd be like, oh, okay, like this person's making really good money. I'm going to listen to whatever they tell me to do because I'm young and I'm malleable and I want to be successful. This person's successful. Why wouldn't I do what they tell me to do? I feel like that's where a lot of agents will get in trouble, and then it causes that turnover. They start getting chargebacks. They start freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah. Also for insurance agents, like the opportunity in general for a lot of these young kids, it's their first ever taste at salesmanship.
Yeah.
You know, let alone business ownership.
Yeah.
Like if you're uncaptive, right? But if you're captive, it's more like a sales job. If you're uncaptive, it's like, oh shit, I'm running a business. I have like 5 different things that I have to worry about. And that's a lot for some 19, 20-year-old kid to like, you know, realize. So they just, as opposed to someone else who already ran a business before in the past or already has sales experience, and then they're transitioning into the insurance space, you know, they might have a little bit better ethics or better morals, but then you never know. They could be sleazy salesmen as well.
I want to know about the way you do business.
The way I
Talk
do
to
business.
me a little bit about your sales process, bro.
As far as
Let me see. Actually, hey, this might be your department. Hey,
Yeah.
who's the
whittle that
sales
down a
guy?
little bit.
Yeah, because I mean,
Be a
you
little more
exclusively
specific.
do digital mortgage with us,
Correct.
right? So I feel like a big thing that I run into a lot, especially with these agents, is that they're just used to running mailers, right? And they want to transition into digital leads because they understand that there's more potential to scale and it's more stable, and you know, there's more long-term potential with that, right?
Ownership.
As opposed to just doing mailers.
Yeah.
So that transition is very scary for people because with mailers, the sales process is, I mean, let's just call it for how it is. It is easier because it's more kind of like required, and the way you do it, it's like they have to fill out a card, right? As opposed to someone online filling in a Facebook form, right? So talk about that transition, because you had to go through that yourself.
Yep.
Right.
Biggest thing for me was I had to find the pain points pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. I know on the school module, I mean, you did a full script breakdown. So then audience can reference that. So initially, my approach is going to be very professional, build credibility fast, but why did you fill this out?
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, for example, you want me to just kind of role play it?
Yeah.
With
Sure.
Hagen?
I'll be the prospect.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Hagen, this is Kelley Vincent. Circling back with you real quick on that Facebook form you filled out. Looks like 2 p.m. today, looking into that mortgage protection insurance for the state of Florida.
Yeah.
I see here you have your child, Anna, you want as the beneficiary? Is that right?
Yeah. I think I remember filling that out earlier today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And just to make sure I got the right person, I have your email as XXX, and you said the mortgage loan was less than $250,000.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's right.
Perfect. Well, Hagen, just to make sure I better know your situation and how I can actually help you, what kind of sparked your interest, or why'd you want to look into this type of protection?
Yeah. I was just, scrolling through Facebook, and I came across your ad and wanted to be able to pay off the mortgage. And it's been something that's been on my mind lately. And I figured it's something that's important.
Gotcha. So making sure anything were to happen to you, your daughter's taken care of, doesn't have to struggle
Yeah.
financially for the home.
Exactly. Not getting any younger now, I got life insurance, but I don't know about this mortgage. Is this something different, or I don't know how this works?
Yeah. So let me give you a quick summary, and then, I'm going to send you over my credentials. That way you know who you're talking to as well. Hagen, the mortgage protection insurance, it's a form of life insurance, okay? Homeowners typically put in place after closing the home or down the road. That way, something were to happen to you yesterday, Hagen. We're talking disabilities, heart attacks, cancer, strokes. The insurance company would actually pay out to your pocket, make sure medical bills, mortgage payments, help supplement income if those illnesses are preventing you from working. But there's also a death benefit. So upon passing, Hagen, I see you wanted Anna as your beneficiary. So that death benefit you customize. That way Anna's not left with that financial burden, struggling to pay the bills. She's able to keep that home and equity safe. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Perfect.
Pause role play.
Yeah.
This is obviously a lay down sale. That's the nicest prospect.
Yeah,
I've ever
yeah.
had.
I know. It's just for the purposes of
No, I
going
know,
through
I
the
know.
process.
Every
I
call is
like
not
what you
like
said
that,
about
guys.
mortgage. I like what you said about mortgage protection, because obviously we make a lot of jokes on the page about agents that sell mortgage protection insurance. No. It's not life insurance.
Right,
It's
so you
just
make it
protecting
clear
your mortgage.
it
They're going to
is.
get a policy packet saying life insurance.
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
And then guess what?
You know how many chargebacks I've had because of
You
that?
get a
Exactly.
charge back 3 months later, and then you're blaming the leads, and then
Yeah.
you have to quit and go work at
Yeah.
McDonald's again. Like, come
Yeah.
on. So I'm glad that you're
being
just tell
transparent
them.
with that upfront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're and this is the thing with insurance agents that I think is funny, most the unethical ones. If you're as good as sales as you say you are,
Yeah.
why can't you sell someone a product for what it is?
Mm-hmm.
They should know what the product is. Why are you trying to repackage it
Yeah.
as something else?
It's
Just
the
say
same
it's
with
life insurance.
It's the same with key person insurance. It's just life insurance, but it's for business owners
Yeah.
in positions that are very important.
It's a form of life insurance.
Yeah, it's a form of life
Form
insurance.
of life insurance.
There's different forms of life insurance that serve different purposes, like funeral expense.
Exactly.
It's like, why is it so hard to sell something for the mortgage?
Yeah. So that's a red flag if they ask, "Oh, is this your life insurance?" I established that right off
the
rip.
bat. I
right
like
off
that.
the rip. Because the last thing I need is them apply for coverage, get approved, get a packet, life insurance, and then they cancel it because it's life insurance.
Yeah. Why do people do that? You think it's a lack of confidence in their sales ability that they try to pitch it as something totally different?
I think sales reps are just too skeptical of themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Like one word can change the game for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those online sales gurus that are like, don't ever say this on a sales call. Don't ever say I'm like, that's the biggest BS ever. It's like, I can say whatever the fuck I want. It's about how you say it, and it's about the energy that you have on the call. I feel like a lot of these online courses and programs, and we talked about this on our school module with tonality,
Yep.
right? It's
Massive.
like, I guess if you are really, really bad at it, and some people are, okay, can you have a little bit of more structured training of tonality? Sure. But generally speaking, we all naturally speak with tonality when you're speaking with your friends, with your family, whatever, going out and about. So it's like, just because like all of a sudden we're in a sales context, you're overthinking about tonality. You're too focused on your script, which is why you think tonality is this whole different thing, when it's just like, just relax, just chill, just like talk to the person. Like,
Crazy story. So when I first actually read a script my first time, and I was trying to book an appointment for solar, dude, I was a very anxious human being at that point. You know, only 19 years old, on the phones, right? And one of my sales trainers, he goes, dude, you're single? It's like, are you talking like this whenever you're at a club trying to hit on a girl? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, you're smooth, you're poised. And it's like, where's the nearest liquor store? So long story short, he was like, listen, take a shot.
no way.
Calm the fuck down. I'm going to pay you on the clock. Go get it. When you come back, you're taking a shot, and we're going to train again. And like, dude, it worked. You know why? Because it calmed me down. I was poised. I was poised. And for the audience, that's not medical advice.
Yeah, don't be drinking.
Yeah,
Don't be
before
drinking
sales.
like-
while on the phone. Okay?
I mean, no, you hit it on the head though. You hit it on the head with sales. And when I look back, like at some of these gurus that teach tonality,
yeah.
it's weird.
It's very weird.
It's weird. Like I would never talk to a human being like that. I would never say, I guess, how does that make you feel? Not
Jeremy
being able to protect your
Bro,
family.
yeah, for real,
You're like, dude, what are you trying to, like, what are you doing?
bro.
Yeah.
Just ask them, just talk to them. But it's funny. It's like talking, like you said, just like not even talking to a girl, bro, just talking to another human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you do it like that way,
Yeah.
that's actually gonna get their wall up.
Of course.
And
Because then they're
then-
like, oh, you're trying to sell me something.
Yeah,
It
and
feels
then-
like manipulation.
Exactly.
Almost.
But if you just have a conversation with them, they're gonna open up. They're gonna get deep. They're gonna get emotional, which gives you the permission to get emotional and go a little deeper into the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't fucking force it.
You can't force it.
Yeah.
You can't force it.
But that's why I don't follow any of those. Like, it's funny because dude, I invested so much in sales
I was
training.
about to say, because you already bought from all of them. So
Yeah,
of
I
course
bought
you don't-
from all of them.
Of course you
And
don't follow them
I used to
anymore.
drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I sounded like an idiot. I remember when I used to run my fitness offer and I would do fitness sales, right?
Oh, dude. Those are the days.
Dude, I bought one Jeremy Minor course, and I think he's getting sued right now or something. He's going through the ringer right now. I don't know what's going on. But I took one of his courses, and I thought like that fixed my sales problem. It's
Yeah.
like you just get sold on it.
You had it on the walls too.
Yeah, I
man.
remember I had it on the walls.
He
of my
had like
apartment.
all the scripts on his walls in the
the
apartment. I
fucking
was like,
process. I
yo.
mean, I learned from it. It wasn't the best investment, but like, I remember on the calls, and I completely changed my sales process the next day, and I just sounded like an idiot on the phone.
Yeah.
And I could hear the prospect on the other side of the phone laughing
Yeah.
at me, trying to like read off the script and like be super.
Give me an
emotional.
example. Give me an example.
It was like a consequence question. I was like, oh, what happens if you don't do anything about this and you don't lose? I was like,
Then the prospect's like, nothing.
yeah,
Stays the same.
I was pretty embarrassed about it looking back now, but it's like I had
Learning
to go through
experience,
that. It's a
bro.
learning experience, and I still sold fitness after that, like when I was at Supra. And don't get me wrong, I got very emotional in the conversation because I was selling to women. Right? And they were telling me some like, very emotional things, but I wasn't the one forcing them. I was creating an environment that made it comfortable for them to open up to me, and then I had a deeper conversation with them.
The biggest thing for me whenever I'm going through the benefits or I'm actually trying to sell them on something within the script, I want to create that environment to where it's, hey, it's a simple conversation. I'll probably say the word simple like 20 times in my sales calls, just because I want them to realize, hey, this is a simple conversation. And so even when I present my options to them to help solve their problem, I don't even ask them which one are they most comfortable with. I'm going to be like, now Hagen and Anna, what are your thoughts so far? You can chat back and forth with me.
Mm-hmm.
See what we need to do.
Yeah, give them room to talk.
Give them room to talk because they will tell you how to sell them
100%.
if you can actively listen.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? A big beginner sales reps make is that they talk too much on the call. They try to oversell, especially at the end. I tell this all the time to people. It's like you're inducing an objection.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end, sometimes after you explain something, you just need to shut up and just let them talk. And then maybe a concern will come out. But then if you start over explaining things, if they ask you a question, a lot of times it's not an objection. It's just a concern, or they want to clarify. They want to like to understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
But if you try explaining like 3 or 4 different things that are unrelated to that, all of a sudden in their mind they're like, oh, well, I didn't think about that.
And more objections pop up.
More
I'm gonna go
objections
home.
pop
I need
up.
to think about that. Thank you for the information. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take this away and go think about it.
Yeah.
You talked
Sometimes
them out
it's
of the
too
sale.
much information.
Yeah, it's too much.
If anything, I like to just less is more. I like to give a little bit of info. And if they have more questions, then I'll give a little bit of more info. But sometimes you give a little bit of info and people get it. You know, sometimes you'll talk to someone who's sharp and they're like, okay, like it answers the question. Oh, cool. Yeah, no worries. Let's move forward. But if I sit there and talk for 3 minutes because I'm like, oh, this is an objection. I got to handle it. I got to give them more and more information because they don't have enough to think about. Yeah. That person's going to give me an objection.
What I've noticed, to your point of you say simple all the time, right? Keep it simple at the end, especially at the end of the sales call. They have a question, answer it in less than a sentence. Like, how does this work? Oh, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they're like, oh, it's simple because he's saying it in a simple way, so it must be simple. And the way you explain it is simple. And then there's no other, like the next steps are just to take payment.
Hagen's pretty good at that on our sales calls. He's pretty good at keeping it simple. I've like memorized some of your lines, bro.
What are my lines?
I'll work across from him at my desk, and I'm like mouthing the words as he's saying it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard this one before. Yeah, because I hear it 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. So for you, Kelley, to kind of put the focus back on you, man, you've been doing this for what, like 2.5 years?
2 years and 9 months now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the future look like for you? Like, is this just a vehicle to get you from A to B, or do you want to take this thing all the way? Do you want to exit? Like, talk to me about the next 5, 10 plus years, brother.
Yeah. So my 5-year plan I have right now, starting next year in 2026, I already built a pipeline of recruiting right now.
Nice.
So I'm focused on building a team. But what I'm also focused on is within building a team, which is one of the main reasons why I hopped on with you guys for digital leads, is building a lot of things in home. My in-home AI trainings, right? The scripts, processes, my book of business to get that exit as well. And I want to use this industry as an exit so I can use my profits and start investing. Real estate. I always wanted to own my own gym, right? So I'm going to use this business as avenues to build other businesses as I go, while still being focused in the life insurance industry. Because kind of at the beginning of the year, I had two roads I could take: build a health insurance book of business or build a team. And I'm a huge people person, and I want to see winners around me. But I was like, okay, let me actually create winners. And so that's kind of the route I decided to take. Yeah. Help building my culture, building my team, Resolve Financial.
How big is your team now?
Right now we have six full-time, not adding me.
Active,
active. We have a whole team of admins, dialers as well. And then we got probably about 5 more people that are going to start full-time.
Nice, dude.
By the middle of January. So
nice,
dude. Bro, talk about the importance of actually owning your book of business. Right. Not to glaze BDL, but in terms of the change that happened for you when you went from scrambling to buy leads from vendors and then dealing with chargebacks versus actually owning your pipeline, owning your book of business so that you can get the result that you want, which is to exit.
If I got the numbers right, I only think I got 1 chargeback. No, 2. 2 chargebacks.
Wow.
With all the sales I've done with you guys so far, and I probably sold maybe 50 policies with you guys the past. I've only been with you for almost 2 months
full time, right?
Full-time,
Before you were splitting the leads with.
For me, obviously in the independent brokerage space, owning your book of business is massive because you got that exit you can work for. And the biggest part of it that these equity partners look for is the retention rate. Retention rate. If I'm running 100% mailers with lead vendors that are being resold every 30 days.
Oh, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you can suppress your lead. Yeah, right. Not happening. Right. And so going the route of trying to make our book of business more than 75%, that's my goal. More of 75% digital leads with you guys for my squad.
Right.
Yeah. That exit's going to be massive.
Yeah.
Because then now there's not churning
Yes.
I think that's the proper word. Churning in your book of business with other people as well, right? That's going to keep a better retention rate. And then obviously with us as independent brokers, we actually own our book of business. So that gives us more of a responsibility of, hey, why am I book of business? I own my book of business, but why is 100% of my leads being resold?
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was the biggest switch the past few months, was going that route with you guys.
Yeah. You're thinking long term. That's the biggest thing.
Most people can't think like that, bro.
Yeah.
So, and I know obviously it's not all sunshines and rainbows, right? Like you do have to be patient when you generate your own leads. You have to be patient. And a lot of people, what we're starting to see is they don't have the patience.
No.
They want the instant gratification that comes with buying leads because they can buy a pack of leads and make some quick money off of it. But if you're going to get a chargeback in 2 or 3 months anyways,
what's the point?
What's the point? You're delaying your doom.
Yeah.
You know
versus
how many
being patient in the forefront.
You know how many calls I get from my clients? Oh, Billy with XIMO tried to call me and saying that you're overcharging me for coverage. And I don't know. I've had that once with my BDL guys.
Wow.
Beautiful,
You know, like, dude, like, bro,
Yeah.
the most annoying thing.
It is annoying.
And buying those lead packs, buying per lead with these mailers that are being resold. Like, you know how many sales I had to walk away from because one of my buddies sold them?
Oh my God.
Like, dude, it
Really?
was ridiculous. That's why I dropped the specific lead vendor.
That's crazy.
Because of that reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're in the best fit. And then I just dip, right?
You know what's crazy though? It's like, and we talk about this all the time in our content.
Yeah.
The whole idea of buying leads from a third party lead vendor as a business owner, it doesn't even make sense.
It does. It does.
It doesn't even make sense. Every other business in the high ticket space or in any industry, how do they generate leads? They self-generate their own leads. It's called a marketing department.
Yeah.
It's like it's only in the insurance industry, there's this weird culture of like buying leads. Like if I were to start a coffee shop, I'm not gonna go to a lead company that sells leads, like coffee shop customer leads, for me to get customers from a coffee shop. How does that make any sense?
Yeah.
The most profitable agencies I've seen so far in this industry as independent brokers in life insurance, almost over 75% of their stuff is in-home. Leads, the marketing, the CRMs, the training. Their agents are the most profitable because of that reason.
Right.
But obviously the people that started that agency, you think they were massively profitable the first 6 months, hell, year?
Yeah.
No. But it's a sacrifice that we have to take as leaders to pave that roadmap of success. Right. And that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
And then when you do have those systems in place, well, guess what? Your business, your agency, Resolve Financial, is going to become more attractive for people that are looking for an agency to want to work at. The other day, I was doing a call with one of our webinar attendees, and she was telling me about her agency, and it was just a shit show. It was like, yeah, I just got into the insurance industry for like 2 months, but like I'm a part-time realtor as well. Like, well, hold on, that was the first red flag.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you choose something and stick with it, right? And number two, she was like, yeah, I've only been selling insurance for 2 months, but I have like 40 agents under me. I'm like, that was a second red flag. Like, how do you have 40 agents under you and you've only been selling insurance for 2 months? So yeah, I'm trying to like get back into full time. So what I've realized after more discovery was that she's just mass recruiting because she has a very good like social media online presence, and she was able to like attract a lot of people. But at that point, it's like you're just selling. Yeah, for
There's
what?
no structure.
You're just selling the dream. You don't even have your own sales process dialed in. How are you going to lead the 40 people under you that are dependent on you, looking up to you to make income?
Yeah. That's why the first 2 years of being in the insurance space, I was focused on being the top producer.
Solo producer.
Top producer.
Yeah.
Ended last year 4th top in issue paid. Right now I'm number 5. And now it's like, okay, I have a roadmap to success. Now I'm going to start recruiting.
Yeah.
Then I don't got to worry about, is my system's actually working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want to deal with.
And
The
how are you
glass
going
has
to?
to be full, bro.
Yeah.
Glass has to be full before you can pour into other people. And that's the
Yes,
problem
exactly.
with people who recruit too early. Your glass is half full. You have a half dialed in process. You know, you got a few good months,
Yeah.
but that does not qualify you to be a leader. It really doesn't, because now you have people mouths to feed while you don't have enough food on your own plate.
Right.
How are you going to pour into other people?
Right. And how are you going to balance that like moving forward, right? Because now you have more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, I don't even think it's possible. It's probably not possible to be the top producer and pour into your team at the same time. So at some point, you're going to have to sacrifice, right? So I'm actually curious, how are you going to make those decisions?
Good question.
Well, that's one of the biggest reasons why I partnered with Onyx and built these AI simulators. So then I'm not spending 5-10 hours a week on role playing with my agents. I can just have someone listen to the recording or I read the AI grading, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put that system in place, invested into that at the beginning of this year, which I saw, and I don't say this boastfully, hitting 400,000 issue paid this year while building a team was pretty easy. It was pretty easy because I had already set some systems in place and actively working on more systems. So what I think it's going to end up happening, 2026, I still want to still be a top producer, balance it out, see how it goes. But once I'm able to bring my team from 100,000 issue paid to 300,000, next $1 million. Once I hit that 500,000 issue paid a month mark, based off the split we'll have off our agents, keeping them profitable, that's whenever I can dive more into building a health side of my business.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Focus on the health, cross-sell life. So now I'm spending money on those leads with still the life leads for my agents, building those campaigns out. That way I can have more quality time on the leads. And at that point, I kind of want to eliminate the dialers for me, put them with my agents. So then no more age leads for me. At that point, health, digital life. That will utilize my time more as a producer and still have time set aside for my team. Until it just becomes team 100%, that's kind of the goal.
Right.
Right.
Or you could even, now you got me thinking, you could even like your top producers under you, you could, appoint them to be like a team lead or like a sales manager to lead other people, right? That would
like
be
an actual business.
Yeah, like an actual
And
business.
An actual business.
Now I'm looking for, agents to put into the pipeline, start from the bottom, work their way from the top. But now I'm looking for talent acquisition. I got a guy right now. Because you think about the sales process in car sales. You got the finance team. You got the salesmen that are talking to people on the lot. But it's the finance team that's pretty much doing all the applications and everything. So if I get someone licensed, I can recruit people in my sales process. So then I'm not qualifying the client. I can actually have me and Caleb Chim working on my book of business.
Good.
Without me calling the lead, qualifying them. And all of it will be legally binded in the contract with agent splits with them being licensed.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the route I'm going to start taking too with my health and life.
Interesting.
It's refreshing to hear you talk like that because, again, I feel like so many people in insurance and a lot of people that we deal with on the sales calls that are so small-minded about that stuff. They can't see the bigger picture. They don't know how to go through a little bit of pain and have a little bit of patience in order to get that big outcome. They're just concerned with, well, if I spend $1,000 this week, how much am I going to make back? I don't know. Like, how good are you at sales? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I can't tell you that for sure. And they're just focused on week to week, surviving. If I spend this much, I have to make this much.
Just got to make a bag,
or
bro.
else I'm not going to pay rent. Right. And I get it. That's survival mode. Welcome to a little taste of entrepreneurship, right? That's how it's going to be for a little bit. But for you, like, what would you say to the agent that's kind of like in that survival mode? Like, should they just keep buying aged leads? Should they buy it from lead vendors? Should they generate it on their own? Like, speak to that person.
By default, and the only reason why I say this is because maybe they don't have enough skin in the game to start ad campaigns.
Exactly.
Right. For me, yes, okay. Age leads is going to make sense. You're going to have to do. You're going to have to deal with the chargebacks.
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with people calling your
You
people.
got to learn how to talk to people.
You got to learn how to talk to people. Client communication. Right. Number one. So for me, I'm breaking down the road to a top producer in 3 phases. First phase, okay, you're running 100%. Age leads, spending $800 a week, flat.
800.
800 a week.
Wow,
Flat
okay.
age leads. Based on those metrics and my process, your first 90 days each month is going to range anywhere based on your performance, anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000 issue paid, which deposits at the starter comp anywhere from 7,500 to 12K in deposits. Once you're consistent in that, you're profitable. You got money in the business savings, right? You got money for leads. We're going to up the ante. You're coming into phase 2. Now you're going to start getting into either buying digital leads from me, or depending how profitable you are, you're going to start buying your own digital leads and start your own ad campaign. Get that funneling in, because there's something about the automated payments coming out of the agents.
Scary at first.
It's scary, but it's going to be like, okay, I owe BDL $2,500 at the end of the month. Shit, I got to get to work, right? That should be a good pressure for you.
Yes.
You need to look at the lead spend as a good pressure for yourself.
Yes.
Now they're cracking 35 issue paid to 45 issue paid. That's where I want them. Then phase 3 can be where I'm at. You're dialing digital. Maybe you're starting your health book of business, or you're wanting to build a team. Yeah. But by the time my agents now get to that point, I'm going to have a roadmap to build a team,
right?
Health, and obviously I'm building that digital map right now. So those are the 3 phases that I put in front of them every time I talk to them.
I like that.
Every time
Solid.
I'm talking to
That's
them.
a really good structure.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
Because now they're excited to get to phase 2, bro.
Yeah.
I got a guy right now. He wants me to put him in phase 2, but he's not doing the proper inputs in phase 1. He has the results like he's doing it in phase 1.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting you in phase 2 if you're not consistent in your inputs in phase 1. You're going to lose more money in phase 2. That's just how it is. And so those are kind of like the 3 phases I put my agents in, and I have them strive for each phase.
I love that, man. It's like karate belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Get a little
it's
belt.
incentive
Yeah.
to get better, bro. That's true. But yes, I feel like so many people, they just can't, they can't get over the fact that lead spend is not an expense.
Yeah.
Like, you need it, right? If things are slow, are you going to shut off your moneymaker?
No.
Like, are you gonna shut off your money printing machine when times are slow? No. Why would you do that? So, I mean, actually, Hagen, I want you to talk about this. We had someone that we're not going to mention where he had some chargebacks come in.
Yeah.
And didn't know how he was going to be able to work with us.
Oh,
And
yeah,
what was like, what'd you tell him?
Yeah, so
It was
we had
really
a guy
good.
that was like gonna sign up with us, right? And he put down a deposit. He didn't pay in full. That's cool. We do that a lot, right? And then 1 week later, he was like getting ready to like put down the rest, and he called me and he was like, "Yo, Hagen, I'm so sorry, but like I don't think I can move forward with you guys because I just got hit with $4,000 in chargebacks." I'm like, "Oh shit, dude, I'm so sorry to hear that." And I was like, "What are you gonna do?" It's like, "Well, I guess I don't have a choice. I'm just gonna have to go back and just buy leads." And I'm like, "You mean the same leads that resulted in the $4,000 of chargebacks that you just
Right.
went through,
Right.
which is why you wanted to sign up with us in the first place?" So it's like, at this point, you're at a fork in the
Crossroad.
road.
Yeah.
It's like, choose your hard. Both paths are hard. Go back, maybe pay off your $4,000 in chargebacks in like a month or 2 because you buy another pack of leads, but then get hit with another $4,000 chargeback.
Yeah.
Or double down in a commitment that you already made to yourself, which is to set up a better self-gen lead system so that you can climb out of this hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Choose your heart.
That's why I say, like, we're very big on delayed gratification,
Yeah.
right? Buying leads is instant gratification. It's like, do you want to suffer now or do you want to suffer later? If you
Yeah.
buy leads,
Yeah.
you're going to, probably make some quick money.
Right.
You're going to suffer later in a few months.
Yeah.
Versus doing it yourself. You might suffer a little bit. It might be a long startup process for you. Everyone's different. Meta is a little unpredictable sometimes, and it'll, sometimes it doesn't like particular people, but whatever.
That's
But-
such a beautiful like analogy to life, because it's like it's the same with life. Like, I could suffer now and have the rewards of that later, or I could have the rewards now and suffer later. Like, I could go out to the club, drink, do a bunch of drugs, do a bunch of fuck shit, and then 10 years from now I'm gonna be 37, depressed.
100%.
Or I could sacrifice now. Hey, I'm not going to go to the club. I'm not going to drink that much. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm going to focus on my business. I'm going to make a lot of money.
It's
10 years from now.
short-term sacrifice, long-term gain.
Yeah.
I would rather sacrifice 99% of my time to build this business, because in 3 years, life is going to be 100% a 180,
Yeah.
versus go find a regular job and make decent money, maybe have more time, maybe be able to travel more, maybe be able to do more stuff, go out on the weekend, but I'm going to be miserable because I'm going to wake up, I'll be 40, 50 still doing the same thing. I would just rather condense all my efforts into a small amount of time. And I feel like you have that similar mindset, like you're going about your business the right way. So, dude, I think we're getting ready to wrap up episode 2. Dude, any last thoughts that you want to get out there? Like, talk to the agent that is watching this. Maybe they're going through some BS, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe the leads aren't picking up. It's Q4, y'all. It's grind time. It is grind time. Q4 sucks. We all know that. So talk to that person, you know, what they're going through.
Biggest thing I can say for any agent or business owner that may be struggling right now, get out of it as fast as you can. Surround yourself with people, with winners. Feed off the momentum. Double down in your inputs. Don't let your emotions outwork you, outwork the emotions. Mm-hmm. If you guys are interested in getting into the life insurance space, I hit on kind of what I look for, those standards. You got to have a good mindset. Got to be coachable, be adaptable, be persistent. If you feel like those 3 align with you, Instagram, Kelley X Resolve, or you can look up my company as well, Resolve Financial, on Instagram. DM me. We'll be more than happy to talk.
Or you might see his Corvette whipping around Tampa.
Or you might see my Corvette whipping around Tampa.
There you go.
Just hop in.
Yes, awesome. Sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That was episode 2. See you next time.